You can be filmed.
Shape. Well, the studio was rectangle, big oblong, so were the desks. There's nothing curved in the room, one in particular. But yeah, there was you're always tripping over things and kind of cracking something. Dangerous place the studio was.
To be honest, let's take for example the first project during the year. We were coming from a different system. Suddenly somebody says, well, you have all this free time, do whatever you want with a Rabbit and a mixer, and you kind of feel lost. But after a while you sort of get into this whole rhythm of actually being able to drive your own process.
Discussion with your friends as well,
yeah.
Everyone around, because there's that constant sort of mode of presenting your work. If you're working in the studio, everyone's watching.
And I think as you go along, you get more and more used to this idea of process and experimenting, abstracting, appropriating, and all these other processes that you have to use to come to your final results.
Make models. I went crazy for pipes. I made pipes for ages, and then I did like paper models for ages. And so it's about really, the first is about just having little obsessions and just going crazy about that for a few weeks or months.
What I mean is aggression is as the opposite of being passive. As you can present your work and be very polemic about it.
Aggression.
So aggression, yeah. You could be aggressive towards interpreting a brief.
66 people fighting for space.
It's sort of a battle.
It is how much wall space you can cover with your presentation.
It's also quite weird because we actually fight for the wall sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, that presentation.
Boundaries. Organization.
So how do you think the organisation of the year affected the projects, or the way that we worked in groups or alone?
I think, there were a mix of projects in that some of them were group-based.
Yeah.
And slowly as the year went on, it became more individual. And I would have actually thought it might have worked better the other way around, or maybe not. Either way, it's challenging to do both.
So which one did you prefer, in a group or on your own?
It's funny, initially I'm not sure I enjoyed working in a group very much.
Yeah.
But as I was excited to work by myself, but I realized that when you work in a group, there's so much more that comes up when you're working on a project. More ideas, more input, more sort of challenges, and just dealing with people really.
How about the landscape? Do you think choosing a landscape that's not that, like, it's out of this world, do you think it sort of frees the architecture because of the boundaries? You create your own data about the site, or sort of?
Yeah, I think you definitely. I think as soon as you start to imagine something that very few people are experts on, you open up a conversation and you allow people to contribute, right? Or to join in. Otherwise it becomes quite hermetic. And for first year students, I think it's really important to create projects where they are experts in something. Otherwise it's very intimidating.
Depending on who you are, it's going to be very different. Some people prefer drawing, some people prefer photography. In my case, I like doing a lot of computerized drawings, a lot of diagramming. I think pretty important. I think diagramming is important once you know your idea, you know your concept. It's a way of, in a sense, solving the problem. I think a diagram solves a problem, shows information, data, but it also helps you to actually figure out where the problem is and sort of giving numbers to the different aspects of your project. So it becomes a much more numerical and sort of information-based design process, but I think it helps a lot.
I really enjoyed that measured style of drawing, and it's taken a lot of practice. It's a very slow process.
Maybe if we'd all spent the year drawing on circle bits of paper, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, drawing was really useful, but I completely changed the way I draw, because before I came here I was doing all sorts of live drawing. It was quite kind of, it was very loose, and I really enjoyed learning about like orthographic projection.
What do you think about Pink?
What I think about pink? It's a color. I don't particularly like pink. Do you?
I do like it.